Yo, what's up, bro? Oh, shoot. Are you good?
Nah, bro. I did terrible on the ACT. I just got my score back. On my math, I got like a 19. I'm lost. I don't know where to start. Don't know how to get better.
Yo, bro, have you ever heard of 5 Academy before? They're like on TikTok, on YouTube. They do like ACT videos.
No, bro. I have never heard of 5 Academy. I didn't think that you had to prep for the ACT. I thought it was supposed to be easy.
Nah, brother, I hate to break it to you, but the ACT is not easy. And if you want a good score, you're probably going to need some help.
So you're telling me 5 Academy can help me with my ACT?
Of course, 5 Academy is going to help you with the ACT. That's what we do. Take it away from here, Shaheer.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 3 Steps to Master the ACT. Today we're just going to give you guys a bit of introduction as to what the course is going to look like for the next 5 weeks or so. So let's get right into it. First off, we should mention that this course is unlike any other ACT course that you've seen before, and we'll explain what we mean by that. This is what most other ACT courses will do. They'll give you some background information about the exam, they'll give you some strategies that you can use to increase your test-taking proficiency, and then they'll throw some practice tests at you to just develop your strategies and your skills. Now the question is, does that simple approach, does it work? The answer is yes, but only so much. You can only really make so much improvement with just strategies and repetitive practice, and there's a lot more that can be done to take your score to the next level. That's why we made this course, to fill in that gap. And we're going to fill in that gap by doing something called identifying your weaknesses. This is something that most courses either completely neglect or they don't do very well. And we're really going to focus on this to make your test taking or test prep approach much more effective. Let's step back for a second and think of any process where you're trying to improve something or make it better. We like to use the example of a car, so we'll just go with that. So in order to make your car run better or go faster or be more efficient, you have to first understand what the problems with the car are. You have to first identify its weaknesses, and then once you know what the problems are, then you can go ahead and make adjustments, make improvements to your vehicle. If you don't honestly and accurately assess your car's weaknesses before you make any changes, you will have first made an incorrect diagnosis of the car's problems or weaknesses, and then because of that, you will make the wrong additions or subtractions from your car, which could potentially damage the vehicle instead of actually making it better. Now, if you take that whole process of improving your car and apply it to you and improving your test-taking abilities in the ACT, you can see why identifying your weaknesses is so important, because you want to make the right improvements and take your time to do the right things the right way. And that's what the beginning of this course is really going to focus on. Before we get into strategies or, practice tests, you have to first identify your weaknesses, and again, we're going to get into that in a little bit. Now, before we move on, we just want to put a little bit of emphasis on the idea of honestly identifying your weaknesses, because a lot of people fail to do this correctly. You can't afford to be dishonest or have a lackluster self-analysis, because that's really going to compromise how effective this course is for you. Again, if you don't honestly assess those weaknesses, you can't make maximum improvement. So we have to emphasize this again. Just be as honest as possible in these coming days and weeks. Now, you may be asking, why do so many people have a problem with honestly identifying their weaknesses? And the answer lies in the fact that people don't like to state their flaws or things that they're bad at. It's hard for most of us to say, this is what I'm bad at or this is what I need to work on, because it kind of hurts our egos. Instead, we like to think about things that we're good at, such as the fact that I can get a 35 on the ACT math section. But the problem with ACT prep is that thinking of those things that you're already good at is not going to help you. You have to focus on the things that you're weak in and that you're bad at, and then work to improve those and turn those weaknesses into strengths. So that's the first step of this course, which is identifying your weaknesses to the best of your ability. The next step of this course is to improve and practice. It's a 2-part step because they go together. This is basically where we take the weaknesses you identified in the Identify chapter and then turn them into strengths through developing your skills in different ways. Now, there are 2 types of skill that we're referring to when it comes to improvement. There is subject matter skill and there's test-taking skill. Now, test-taking skill refers to how well you understand how the ACT functions and how you can overcome the various challenges that the test poses. These are skills that every test taker needs to work on, whether you're scoring high or low, and the main way that we'll do that is through developing various strategies that we'll give you that can be practiced and eventually go towards having a good test-taking technique. So there are going to be strategies about timing, there's going to be strategies about critical thinking, there's going to be strategies about narrowing down answer options on a multiple choice test. So there's different things for different sections, and we're going to get into that when we get to the improved chapter. The other type of skill is subject matter skill, and this refers to the actual skills that are being tested on each section. So for the English section, for example, you're actually being tested on your English skills. That's the subject matter of the English exam. Now, in our discussions of the subject matter skill of each section, we'll actually go ahead and give you information about each and every skill that is being tested on that section so that you can take a look at it, you can learn it, and when you go back to your test, you can actually be more prepared from a subject matter perspective. The official ACT prep guide that's written by the ACT writers actually has a list of all the skills that are being tested or that are tested on the ACT. But those writers didn't provide a description of each skill or a breakdown of each skill and how it's specifically tested on each question type or on each section. And what we did in our course is we took that list of skills that the ACT writers gave us and we made a complete study guide, a subject matter study guide that you can use to master each and every subject matter skill on all 5 sections. We call this resource our supplemental material, which you will hear a lot about in our coming days and weeks of this course, and we highly encourage you to use it so that you can develop your subject matter skills if needed. And in the supplemental material, we'll be going over the descriptions of the skill. We'll show you different ways that that skill will show up on the test through different question types. We'll go over other examples, we'll do a whole bunch of stuff, and there's plenty of things that you can see in that resource. The last of the 3 steps to master the ACT is execute. What we'll be doing in this chapter is basically giving you some last minute things that you should do in the days and weeks leading up to the exam to mentally and physically prepare yourself for test day. It's really simple and it's the shortest chapter of our course. We're almost ready to get started with the course, but first we'll just discuss how the course is structured. There are 3 chapters in the course, 1 for each of the 3 steps to master the ACT. And each chapter of the course is divided into 5 sections, 1 section for each section of the ACT. So you will first identify your weaknesses in all 5 sections, and then learn how to improve and practice each of the 5 sections with this test taking and subject matter skill development that we just talked about. And then you will learn how to execute and actually get ready for test day for each of the 5 sections. Apart from that, you're ready to get into the 3 steps to master the ACT. Make the most of this course, be honest and true to yourself, and make the greatest effort possible. This course is filled with advice and wisdom and knowledge that we wish we could have given ourselves when we started studying for the ACT. So if you're in that position, this could be of great help to you because all 3 of us, all 3 writers of the course have been through this whole process, and our experiences are very diverse, and so there's a lot of different experience and different knowledge and wisdom that went into this. If you follow the tips and the techniques and the tricks and the strategies that we give you, there is a lot of improvement that can be made. So just stick with it, and we'll see you tomorrow ready to tackle day 2.